Hello, and welcome to Chabot News for October 12th, 2023. My name is Don Wright, and today we will be covering ex-President Trump's alleged sharing of nuclear submarine secrets, the Women's National Basketball Association coming to the Bay Area, and a fire scare in the Chabot College cafeteria. In entertainment, Evan will give us updates on the Mariah Carey Christmas tour, and finally, India will bring us the latest in sports news, including a women's swim team in Virginia speaking up in support of transgender athletes. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. Donald Trump is slamming an ABC News report alleging he shared potentially sensitive information about U.S. nuclear submarines with an Australian billionaire. The former president is calling the report, quote, false and ridiculous. It's the latest in a series of incidents in which the former president has been accused of being careless with government secrets. Brian Todd has more.
ABC's reporting on the former president allegedly sharing sensitive information on U.S. nuclear submarines with an Australian businessman is far from the first time questions have been raised about Donald Trump being cavalier with America's secrets. In 2017, Trump took heat for telling Russia's foreign minister and its ambassador to Washington, right in the Oval Office, about intelligence the U.S. got from another country about ISIS plots. That same year, during a meeting with then-Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on the patio at Mar-a-Lago, word came of a North Korean missile launch. Other guests there at the time were close enough to take photos like these. In view of guests, sensitive documents were illuminated by the light of a cell phone.
In terms of what was there at Mar-a-Lago, the president had access to the most sensitive secrets of the United States. Anything he would have received, heard of, been briefed of, would have been our most sensitive sources, our most closely held information.
Earlier this year, CNN exclusively obtained audio of Trump during a meeting at his Bedminster, New Jersey estate in 2021, discussing a secret Pentagon document that he did not declassify, a document on prospective plans to attack Iran, a moment when he seems to indicate he's holding the document in his hands.
They presented me this, all sorts of stuff, it's pages long. Look, this is secret information. But look at this. You attack and...
In a 2017 phone call with the president of the Philippines, Trump revealed that the U.S. had positioned submarines near North Korea. In an interview with Fox Business, Trump bragged that he'd once informed Chinese President Xi Jinping about airstrikes he'd authorized in Syria over a, quote, beautiful piece of chocolate cake at Mar-a-Lago.
I said, Mr. President, let me explain something to you. This is during dessert. We've just fired 59 missiles.
And in 2019, Trump bragged to journalist Bob Woodward about building an ultra-secret nuclear weapons system.
But I have built a weapon system that nobody's ever had in this country before.
One former CIA analyst says Trump's recklessness with secrets endangers American lives. And
if our allies cannot trust the United States with information because the president or the former president is willing to give it away for nothing, for bragging rights, other countries are going to see us as partners that they cannot trust, and they're going to start reducing the amount of information they're going to give to us.
Thank you, Brian. Former President Trump has repeatedly denied mishandling sensitive information. Regarding the ABC report on what he allegedly told the Australian businessman about submarines, Trump's spokesman said that the report lacked proper context and that the former president did nothing wrong. The businessman, Anthony Pratt, has not responded to multiple requests for comments. Boom goes the jobs report. The Labor Department says the U.S. added nearly double the new hires expected in September, marking the third straight month of growth for the Labor Department. But who's doing the hiring, and what about wage increases? Laura Aguirre breaks down the jobs report.
This morning we learned the economy created 336,000 jobs in September alone. That means since I've taken office, we've created 13.9 million new jobs.
President Joe Biden taking a victory lap Friday over September's turbocharged jobs report.
It's Bidenomics. We're growing the economy from the middle out, the bottom up, not the top down.
September's gains reflect the largest monthly jump since January, and the unemployment rate holding steady from August at 3.8%. Hospitality and leisure led the hiring surge, like restaurants, hotels, and travel, areas that previously struggled to recover after the pandemic, followed by government and healthcare. Hourly average wages were just shy of estimates, but still trending up.
We still have more work to do on inflation, but also some growth in wages, especially among the lowest paid workers.
The strong jobs report could be too much of a good thing, points out some federal officials, noting that the central bank could keep hiking interest rates to fight inflation if it feels the economy is strong enough to handle them. Still, for most Americans, more jobs and rising wages are a win-win.
It means there are more opportunities for people sharing their part of the American dream.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Thanks, Laura. Inflation gauges, closely tracked by the Fed, have cooled significantly since highs last year, but that downward trend is slowing due to, in part, to gas prices. Here in the Bay Area, BART is making some temporary changes to its schedule. BART riders between Pleasant Hill and Concord stations will be suspended for 2 weeks later this month. Passengers are advised to anticipate delays of up to 30 minutes on the weekends of October 14th to the 15th and October 28th to the 29th. BART officials said travelers will have to offboard their trains at either Pleasant Hill or Concord and then catch a free shuttle bus providing them by the county, to make the next connection. BART officials said that during the shutdowns, the last scheduled departure from Antioch to Concord will be at 11:28 p.m. The WNBA is coming to the Bay Area. The Golden State Warriors announced a professional women's basketball team will play at the Chase Center in San Francisco beginning in 2025. This announcement follows the NBA Board of Governors accepting the Warriors' bid for WNBA's 13th franchise. The team is yet to be named. We sent our reporters out on the campus to see what they think about this announcement.
That's hella exciting because I never got to watch them in person, but I got to play the sport and stuff, so I'm really proud that they're coming here.
That's pretty cool. I never really heard where WNBA players play at. So to hear that it's coming close by is pretty cool.
Yeah, I had not heard that they were coming to the Chase Center, but I think any exposure and access for other women to see the women at that level playing and access to the Bay Area is important. We need to have more women representation in sports.
I don't follow sports, so honestly I don't know anything about that, but I did hear there is a new team coming. That sounds exciting.
I haven't really thought about it. I'm not too exposed on women's basketball like that.
I think it's great. I'm not a basketball person. I didn't know what NBA meant until a couple seconds ago, so but I think it's great.
I think that's dope. I'm not a huge fan of the WNBA, but I have played 2K before, and I think it's pretty cool.
I hope they're getting paid as much as the men are when they're in the Chase Center, so I also hope that comes along with them coming to Chase.
While the Bay Area has had no professional women's sports teams for more than a decade, the country has seen an explosion of interest in professional and collegiate women's sports in the past couple of years. The new women's team will practice at the Warriors facility in Oakland. Now let's take a look at entertainment news with our reporter, Evan Neto.
Thanks, Don. The culinary world is mourning the death of celebrity chef Michael Ciarello. According to a statement from his company, Ciarello died Saturday, October 8th, while he was being treated for an acute allergic reaction which led to anaphylactic shock. He was known for his time hosting the Food Network series Easy Entertaining with Michael Ciarello for 10 seasons beginning in 2003. He also appeared on other cooking series, including Top Chef and Iron Chef America. In a statement, his family says they'll remember Ciarello for his passion to, quote, savor life's flavors. Ciarello was 61 years old. The Food Network is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, who also owns CNN. Fans of the holiday music star Mariah Carey can look forward to an early present this year as the singer recently made an exciting announcement. Mariah Carey has announced she's doing a Christmas tour. The self-proclaimed Queen of Christmas took to social media with details. She revealed that tickets for her Merry Christmas One and All tour go on sale Friday, October 6th. Ticket pre-sale started on Wednesday, October 4th. The tour is set to kick off at California's YAAMAVA Casino on November 15th. Other stops include Los Angeles, Denver, Toronto, Chicago, Boston, Montreal, and Philadelphia. The tour will wrap up on December 17th at New York's Madison Square Garden. If you're a Mariah Carey superfan, you can see the Queen of Christmas roll out the red carpet at any of the scheduled locations. That's all we have for this week in entertainment news. I'm Evan Netto. Now, back to you, Don.
Thank you, Evan. In local news, the Hayward Unified School District has finally cut ties with the teacher who was teaching an anti-Semitic conspiracy theories to students. The school district removed Mount Eaton High School English teacher Henry Benz in February after an outcry from students and fellow teachers. Benz has continued to receive a paycheck, but on September 4th, he signed a separation agreement for that to end beginning in January 2024. Last month, an internal investigation found that Benz had both taught with anti-Semitic materials and verbally attacked teachers who spoke up against him. The district finalized Benz's departure 2 weeks after the investigation was concluded. Although the investigation into Benz is complete, a new investigation is underway regarding the district handling of the complaints. The Chabot College cafeteria was evacuated due to a possible fire. The evacuation occurred Monday, September 25th. We sent reporters out on campus to get the thoughts of students who were affected.
I was here last week for the evacuation. I was kind of just ordering some food, you know. I was getting the cheddar melt. It's like a little grilled cheese, kind of a patty in the middle. It's pretty good. I like it. And yeah, I was just paying for it, and all of a sudden, lights went off. Next thing you know, just beeping. Everyone's freaking out.
I'm a little traumatized when I hear alarms, so it was a little bit scary. But at the same time, since I'm a vendor here and also a student, well, it was a little bit scary too. They leave all my stuff.
It was kind of crazy because I was just trying to get some food, and I seen it was closed, and I was like, damn, like, what happened? And then people were saying that, like, it was like a fire alarm, right?
But at the same time, I feel good because I see right away people were coming and the security guards were cleaning out the aisles. So I feel in a way safe.
I kind of just had to walk outside with my food in my hands, just eat, you know. Yeah, I was kind of ashamed. I wanted to sit down, but, you know, it's all good.
According to campus security, the incident was caused by a piece of burnt toast. No damage was done, and students were able to return to the cafeteria later that day. Now, we turn to this week's sports with our sportscaster, India Richardson.
Thanks, Don. In Virginia, the transgender athlete debate has reached Roanoke College. On Thursday, October 5th, members of the women's swim team spoke out against transgender participation on the team. Joe Dashiell has more.
10 members of the women's swimming team stood together on a stage at the Hotel Roanoke, each of them reading a statement during a news conference organized by national groups that opposed the participation of transgender athletes in women's sports.
When I was told that a biological male will be swimming on the women's swim team, all of my feelings turned into fear. Throughout the last month, the women's team and I have felt manipulated, helpless, angry, confused, upset, guilted, and most importantly, unheard. When we finally worked up the guts to explain how we felt to the higher-ups at our school, we were told that we had support, but not once was that support exhibited to us in practical terms.
Speakers included Riley Gaines, a former collegiate swimmer who's campaigned nationally on the issue. and parents of the Roanoke College students.
Our girls were not the only girls suffering at the expense of men and boys wishing to compete on their team. We learned that this is a much bigger issue than just Roanoke College, and it's happening at many sports at many different levels.
Marcy Smith, co-founder of the Independent Council on Women's Sports, described the news conference with the entire team as a pivotal and historic moment.
We have never before seen a team unified like this, and for young girls to have the example of collegiate women standing arm in arm to protect the rights of women across the country, it's so crucial.
10 members of the women's swimming team stood together on a stage at the Hotel Roanoke. Each of them have reading a statement during a news conference organized by national groups that oppose the participation of women transgender athletes in women's sports. The U.S. women's gymnastics team is now the first group to win 7 straight world titles. On Wednesday, October 4th, the team, led by Simone Biles, nabbed its 7th consecutive World Championships gold. They did so at the 2023 World Artistic Gymnastics Championship in Antwerp, Belgium. The event was a homecoming of sort for Biles. She made her World Championships debut there in 2013, winning 3 medals, gold, silver, and bronze. Since then, the 26-year-old has garnered 26 World Championship medals, 20 gold, 3 silver, and 3 bronze. The most decorated gymnast in U.S. history has also won 8 U.S. National All-Around Championships. On Friday, October 6th, Biles competed in the women's individual all-around final. Then she tackled the women's vault and uneven bars on Saturday the 7th. On Sunday the 8th, she finished off with the balance beam and floor exercise. That's going to wrap it up for this week's Look at Sports. I'm India Richardson. Now back to you, Don.
Thank you, India. Billions of snow crabs continue to disappear from the waters around Alaska. It's causing a big problem and having a ripple effect on the economy, as the snow crab harvests are in the Bering Sea is now canceled for the 2nd year in a row. Erin Zuko has the story.
From the Bering Sea to boatyards in Ballard, a decline in Opilio snow crabs has a ripple effect on the economy. Questions are still floating concerning the reasons behind it, but the impact to Washington crabbers is clear.
You're always going to see highs and lows as a commercial fisherman. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, feast or famine, but lately the highs are a lot lower and the lows are even lower than that.
Captain Mark Casto of the Pinnacle says it's a relief to at least see Bristol Bay red king crab back up and running.
King crab in Paradise season, go up there and have just a safe, productive season, and get paid a fair price, so we can make some money and the crew can make some money.
King 5 traveled to Alaska and found researchers searching for answers. NOAA is experimenting with pH and water temperature to see what kind of roles ocean acidification or warming may have played, and studying the effects of predators like cod. Fish biologist Aaron Fedowa says Bristol Bay red king crab has been declining steadily for years, but with snow crabs, the population collapsed.
I do think for an Arctic species, the future is uncertain. Like I said, I'm an optimist, and I can only hope that the conditions continue to support viable populations of snow crab.
Alaska Department of Fish and Game Research Supervisor Benjamin Daly says it hurts to have to close or limit the fisheries, but that it's a decision made for long-term sustainability.
We're trying to, err on the side of conservation and give them the best shot that they have for kind of thriving in the future, given the challenges that they're facing in the environment.
Thanks, Erica. The Alaska Department of Fish and Game said that fishermen will now be able to harvest red king crab. It's the first time in 2 years. The closures were driven by low populations in mature female red king crabs. But authorities say the population is now above the threshold to open the season. And now for our final story. Just in time for Halloween, we have a new pumpkin king. And boy, is it a big one. Patrick Cornell shows us the giant gourd, as well as a prescription cat in Take a Look at This.
I'm going to hit the switch right now.
This perfectly portly pumpkin is a record setter. It clocked in at 2,749 pounds at the 50th annual Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Weigh-Off in California, reportedly a new world record. It makes it the greatest gourd of all time, which is fitting considering its grower Travis Ginger of Minnesota dubbed it Michael Jordan. Well, it certainly dunked on the competition. Ginger and Pumpkin Michael Jordan snagged a cool $30,000 for being the best. Ginger is now a 3-time contest winner. He took home the top prize in 2022 and 2020. A prescription for cat? Say what, meow? Yes, you heard me correctly. Robin Sipe of Virginia recently lost a pet, and on a visit to Dr. Earl King, Robin opened up about her lost little one.
I was very, very sad. And Dr. King asked me why I was so sad. He was concerned about my overall well-being.
That's when Dr. King concocted a creative remedy. More cat.
I'd recommended that she proceed to get a new cat, and I actually wrote her a prescription.
And Robin did just as the doctor ordered. That same day, Robin met Erlene, a little kitty missing part of a paw, and just like that, they became best pals. The medicine Robin needed.
Oh, she makes me so happy. She makes me so happy.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Thanks, Patrick. On a side note, while the Great Pumpkin Weigh-Off is complete, the Half Moon Bay Art and Pumpkin Festival is happening this coming weekend. Be sure to mark October 14th and 15th on your calendars for some high-spirited fun. That's all for Chabot College News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff here in the Mass Communications Department at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 Comcast for more Chabot TV.